Hello everyone, it's Ruby here, and today I will be continuing our poetry lesson. In today's poetry lesson, we will be focusing on one of these books. Can you guess which book it might be? Have a think. If you guess this book, you are absolutely right. We will be looking at a poem from the book Hot Like Fire and Other Poems. And the poet of this book, so the person who wrote the book, is called Valerie Bloom. Now have a look at this front cover. What can you see on the front cover? What pictures can you see? How does it make you feel? Think about your emotions. When you look at this book, what do you feel? So when I looked at this book, I saw a hot yellow sun. Can you see I've used two adjectives there? I used hot and yellow to describe the sun. I also see a light blue sky. Can you see the two adjectives I've used there? I've used the word light blue to describe the sky. Can you think of any other adjectives you could use? This front cover made me feel very happy. I like the sun and I like it when the weather is hot, so I feel very happy. It also makes me feel joyful, which is another word for feeling very happy, just like the man sliding down the coconut tree. I think he looks very happy. This is another emotion I feel. I feel content. That means I just feel very good and very happy and calm when I look at this front cover. Can you think of any other emotions you may feel? Now, the poem that we will be looking at is called Trees on Parade. Now, what I would like you to do first is close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, that's okay. But if you do, I'd like you to think about and see what images or pictures you might see in your heads whilst I read the poem out loud to you. Okay? I'm going to start now. The trees are on fire. The trees are on fire. Call for the fire brigade. The branches are blazing. The canopies flaming all along the colonnade. The trees are on fire. The trees are on fire. That's the end of the trees, I'm afraid. Don't worry, they're not burning. It's just the leaves turning in time for their autumn parade. Now, I want you to keep your eyes closed if they're still closed because I'm going to read it one more time for you. Right. The trees are on fire. The trees are on fire. Call for the fire brigade. The branches are blazing. The canopies flaming all along the colonnade. The trees are on fire. The trees are on fire. That's the end of the trees, I'm afraid. Don't worry, they're not burning. It's just the leaves turning in time for their autumn parade. Now, if you had your eyes closed, you can open them now and think about what you saw in your heads whilst I read that poem out to you. Here is a picture to help. Now have a think. So in that poem, I know there are a few tricky words. I have highlighted the tricky words in red. The first word is canopies. That's a very tricky word. There was also a word which was colonnade. You might be a little unsure about what that means. I think there's one more word you may or may not know, which is parade. Now what I'm going to do in the next slide is go through what these words mean, what their definitions are. So here is a lovely picture of some trees. And the tricky word to go with this picture is canopies, which are parts of the tree that hang over and give shade. So you can see their lovely long branches with their green leaves are hanging over to give shade to whoever walks on the long path. Here's another lovely picture to go with our second tricky word, which is colonnade, which means a long sequence of columns. So in the poem, the poet described the trees as standing in a colonnade, standing in a long sequence. The third tricky word was parade, which is a group of people marching and celebrating. Do you think the trees were marching and celebrating? Have a think of what the poet may have meant. Trees on Parade, which is the poem that we're focusing on. Here's a picture just to help you. And here is the poem again. I'll read it out one more time. You don't have to close your eyes this time if you don't want to. But I'll read it again and let's answer a few questions. The trees are on fire. The trees are on fire. Call for the fire brigade. The branches are blazing. The canopies flaming all along the colonnade. The trees are on fire, the trees are on fire. That's the end of the trees, I'm afraid. Don't worry, they're not burning. It's just the leaves turning in time for their autumn parade. What do you think the poem is about? So I've put that picture in the top left corner of the trees to help you think about this. What do you think the poem is about? What can you visualize in your head? So what can you see, or what did you see in your heads when I asked you to close your eyes? When I read the poem to you? And what do the words trees are on fire mean? Now these are 3 questions for you to think about. Trees are on fire. I want you to think about what this means in the poem. Here is one picture to help. And here's another picture. What do you see in both these pictures? And what do you think the words trees are on fire might mean? I want you to have a think about this, and I think we'll discuss this even further in our next lesson. Happy thinking, guys!